Oh, that's it. I've had it with this dump. We got no food. We got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
What's happening, guys? So today I want to speak to you about making a better life for yourself. Now, most people I know want to make a better life for themselves. We want to make a change in one way or another so that we can feel better. However, very often it is a huge struggle to make changes and to find that better feeling.
What the hell are we doing here, Harry?
And I want to explore this a bit more today because there's something we need to get out of the way, and that is yourself. Because so much of what you struggle with in life is not your fault. It is simply the result of what you received when you were a child. And before we go any further, let's make this clear. A better life can ultimately only be based on one thing: the way you feel. Money, success, fame, titles, etc. are no guarantee that you're going to feel better about yourself or the life that you're living. A great example of this, is in a movie I just recently watched, and that is A Star is Born. In A Star is Born, we get to witness the life of Jackson Maine, a very talented musician. Okay, he's got fame, fortune, and he just met the love of his life, Ally, or Lady Gaga. Now, amidst all of Jackson's success, he has a problem with alcohol and substance abuse. So while he seems to have so much, he is actually lacking the most important thing, and that is a true sense of himself. But this is not Jackson's fault. As we learn in the movie, Jackson lost his mother at a very early age, and his father was an alcoholic. In the words of his brother Bobby,
"Fuck, you shed a tear for that piece of shit you idolized for no goddamn fucking reason. All Dad ever did for you was make you his fucking drinking buddy."
Jackson never received a true vision of who he was because his father was incapable of giving it to him. So Jackson was simply living the life that he was taught to live. Unfortunately, no one was able to give Jackson that true vision of who he was, and ultimately his guilt won at the end of the day. Now, the truth about Jackson is that Jackson was actually perfect, beautiful, talented, and he never actually made a mistake in his life. Yes, he never actually made a mistake in his life. He was simply responding to what he received as a child. Guess what? You are perfect, beautiful, talented, and you have never actually made a mistake. You have simply responded to what you received in this life. Now, I'm not saying that you've never hurt anybody and that nobody has ever hurt you. I'm not making excuses for anyone's behavior here. But what I am saying is that we hurt each other because of the lack we feel for ourselves. The bigger the lack, the greater the hurt. People who never received a positive vision of themselves from their parents are most likely not going to have a positive vision of who they are. I grew up in a chaotic household, went through 2 divorces, and experienced many traumatic events as a child. As far as I can remember, very early in my life, I really struggled to see myself and my life in a positive light. I really struggled with confidence, self-hatred, and to make matters worse, I never let anybody know what was going on in my life out of shame, okay? No one knew what was going on with me. When I left home to make a life for myself, I constantly struggled with fear and stress. You could say I lived in survival mode. No matter what I did, I always felt there was something really wrong with me. It wasn't until I received a better vision of who I was that my life truly started to change and get better. None of us choose where we were born or the family we were born into. So to waste any time blaming yourself is not only false, but it's completely fruitless. Now, I'm not making an excuse for anyone to act like a victim. Everyone has struggled, and nobody owes you a thing. Comparing won't make you happier, complaining won't change a thing, blaming others won't make you see yourself any differently. You don't need mercy, pity, or compassion. It won't help. What you need is a better vision of who you are. When you have a better vision of who you are, not only will you feel better about yourself, but you will feel better about the world in which you live. My aim is to give you what you may not have received as a child, and that is a beautiful, perfect, and royal vision of who you are.